Hey everybody, it's me Jones Jay here. I'm currently on my way to Philadelphia International Airport where I'll be flying American Airlines over to Chicago, Illinois. This is my first time flying completely by myself, so I'm very excited. I do plan on releasing some content from my trip to Chicago on my YouTube channel soon, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Anyways, let's go inside and get checked in. Security at PHL this morning was thankfully very quick and painless. As you can see from the departure board, my flight to Chicago this morning departs out of gate A7, so let's head there now. Here is my plane, an American Airlines Boeing 737-800 with registration November 966 November. American Airlines has 9 boarding groups. The first ones are for first class, priority boarding, and people with high status on American Airlines and or oneboard, and the later groups are for everyone else. I was in boarding group 6. For this flight, I was seated at seat 28A. This is American Airlines' newest cabin on the domestic fleet. As you can see, legroom is fine but not great. I do like the inclusion of a USB port and power outlet at every seat, but rather than using IFE screens like Delta or soon United, American Airlines instead expects that you'll bring your own device for entertainment, and provides a device holder for you to use. Overall, the seat is fine, better than low-cost carriers, but not amazing.
A little foggier than here even. Winds are calm, good visibility. Last hour's temperature about 36 degrees with foggy conditions. We're going to get underway very shortly. Help us by finding those seats, double checking those safety belts. We have roughly 1 hour 58 minutes en route once airborne. Our cruise altitude at 38,000 feet. I wish I could say it's going to be a nice smooth flight, but well, it's not. Seems our jet stream kind of cuts north-south right through our route of flight, causing a bunch of bumps. Pretty much about a third of the way to Chicago and carrying on almost all the way to Detroit. So we'll probably have a good hour in there where it'll be just continuous chop, as they call it, and hopefully nothing worse. We'll do our best to find a smooth altitude. I'm sure you'll appreciate that and appreciate your patience. Sit back, enjoy everything, and thanks for joining us today.
By our dedicated team members who all do it for one reason, you. That's why your safety and well-being are so important to us. Let's go through some in-flight instructions so we can get you safely on your way. First, make sure your seat is upright. All larger electronic devices are put away and your tray table is stowed. Seat back device holders must be stowed for taxi, takeoff, and landing. If you have a carry-on, place it all the way under the seat in front of you. Larger carry-on luggage goes in the overhead bin. If you have small handheld devices, such as cell phones, tablets, and smartwatches, please switch them to airplane mode now. If your electronic device falls into your seat, please do not adjust your seat and contact a crew member for assistance. If you are seated at an overwing exit, your window shade must remain open for taxi, takeoff, and landing. If you haven't already fastened your seatbelt, insert the metal end into the buckle and pull the strap so it's tight across your hips. To open your seatbelt, lift the top of the buckle. And remember, seatbelts should be fastened whenever you're seated in case of unexpected turbulence. U.S. law requires compliance with lighted and posted signs and crew member instructions. All flights are non-smoking, including e-cigarettes, vape devices, and smokeless tobacco. It's against the law to tamper with, disable, or destroy the lavatory smoke detectors. Doing so may result in a fine. For safety reasons, e-cigarettes and vape devices may not be plugged into any power source while on board the airplane. The safety card in your seat pocket explains the safety features of this airplane, including the location and operation of exits and flotation devices. But of course, don't hesitate to ask our crew members questions. This airplane has 2 exit doors in the front, 4 window exits over the wings, and 2 exit doors in the back. Take a moment to locate the nearest one, and keep in mind it may be behind you. All door exits have evacuation slides to use in the unlikely event of an emergency. When directed to exit, jump onto the slide and move away from the airplane. In a water evacuation, life rafts are located in marked ceiling compartments. All exits are clearly marked with signs and opening instructions. If needed, exit path lighting in the aisle will illuminate near the floor to guide you to an exit indicated by signs and lights. In the event of an emergency, leave all belongings and proceed to the closest usable exit. If needed, oxygen masks will drop from an overhead compartment. Remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and pull the mask down to start the flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your nose and mouth and put the elastic band over your head. Pull the straps to tighten and breathe normally. You should always put on your mask before helping others. Oxygen is flowing even if the bag does not inflate. Life vests are located under, next to, or between your seat. For help locating them, see your safety card. To remove the vest, pull the tab or compartment handle to break the seal. If equipped with an elastic harness, remove the harness before opening the pouch. Take the vest out as shown on the safety card and put it over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist, attach the buckle, and pull tight. Once outside, pull the tab to inflate your vest or blow into the red tube. In the water, a light on your vest will automatically illuminate. If necessary, an infant life vest will be distributed by a crew member. See your safety card for more details on how to use it. We will be dimming the cabin lights for takeoff. Individual reading light controls are at each seat. It's our honor to care for you on your journey. If you have any questions, please refer to your safety card or ask any of the crew members as they do their final cabin check. And as always, let us know if there's anything we can do to make your time with us more enjoyable.
After the usual safety demonstration, we start taxiing out to runway 9L/27R for takeoff. Alright, so we just reached our cruising altitude of 38,000 feet. I apologize for the very low volume of that announcement from the flight deck. Basically, the pilots were just saying that the seatbelt sign would remain on for most of the flight due to turbulence. Overall, this definitely was one of the more bumpy flights I've been on, but it still wasn't too bad, and the pilots did a good job of finding smoother air later on in the flight. Let's take a look at our flight path for today. We took off northeast from PHL, passing over Philadelphia's major sports stadiums like Citizens Bank Park, the Wells Fargo Center, and Lincoln Financial Field, as well as Center City, Philadelphia itself. We then turned northwest, flying over the Appalachian Mountains, the Cleveland-Akron area in Ohio, and just north of the Fort Wayne area in Indiana. We then turned north towards Lake Michigan, and then back west just north of downtown Chicago to line up for landing on runway 28C/10C at ORD. Now let's take a look at the entertainment offered on this flight. As I mentioned earlier, American Airlines has free entertainment that you can access on your personal device when you connect to the AA in-flight network. Wi-Fi is also available for a fee. The top of the page tells you how much time is remaining in the flight, and the page also shows you things like the weather in your destination city. Apple Music users will also have access to stream their music. Taking a look at the movies and TV shows offered, you can see that there was a decent selection, but I didn't end up watching anything since the flight was only about 2 hours long. Later on in the flight, the turbulence calmed down a little, so the flight attendants came around and did their typical snack and drink service. I just got some water, and they gave the classic Biscoff cookies on this flight. I do quite like these. Overall, aside from some turbulence, the flight was pretty uneventful, so enjoy the scenery as we continue towards and descend into the Chicagoland area.
Prepare for landing. Please close your tray table and put away carry-on items. Place your seat in the original upright position. Seat back device holders must be stowed for landing. We will now collect any items you wish to discard. Please put away larger electronic devices, including laptop computers. Secure smaller handheld devices in your hand. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is turned off, and keep the aisles clear of all carry-on items. take a moment to check your seat back pocket for any personal items, like tablets and cell phones. When you open the overhead compartment, be careful, as items may have moved in flight. And thank you for choosing American Airlines.
It's our pleasure welcoming you to Chicago. The local time is 10:03. If you're coming back here in Chicago, you're going to claim at baggage claim number 4. Once again, all check luggage will be at baggage claim number 4. As a point of reference, our arrival gate is gate H16. And on behalf of this Philadelphia and Chicago-based crew, it has been our pleasure having you on board this morning. We appreciate your business, and we thank you for choosing American Airlines, a member of the One World Alliance. Have a great rest of your day.
We will be parking at gate H16 here at the H Concourse in Terminal 3 at Chicago O'Hare International Airport. Chicago is one of American Airlines' major hubs, and they manage all of their operations here out of Terminal 3. ORD is also a major hub for United Airlines, which manages all of its operations out of Terminal 1. ORD has 4 terminals in total, 1, 2, 3, and 5. If you're wondering what happened to Terminal 4, it was the temporary international terminal while Terminal 5 was being built.
Flight 10's verified as under, stand by for all call.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you too. While at ORD, I happened to spot this Japan Airlines Boeing 787-900 series bound for Tokyo Haneda Airport in Japan. I mentioned in the previous video about my interest in Japan and how I'm currently learning Japanese, so this was neat to see. I really want to visit Japan someday, so hopefully I can get on a flight like this sometime soon. Here is the classic flag hallway in Terminal 3 here at ORD. This is where Kevin McAllister got separated from his family in Home Alone 2. Overall, Chicago O'Hare International Airport is one of my favorite major airports. The terminals are mostly nice and clean, and being a hub for both United Airlines and American Airlines, and with a lot of international carriers flying here, there is a very long list of places you can fly to non-stop from here. Did you know that ORD is the only airport in the US where you can fly non-stop to all 6 inhabited continents? In addition to this, ORD is also currently undergoing a major expansion plan which includes a future world-class global terminal that will make international and domestic connections easier, along with several other enhancements. You can check out my video on the expansion here for more info. Another nice thing about ORD is that Chicago's metro system connects directly to the airport, making it super easy to get between the airport and city. Let's go ahead and hop on a train and enjoy the amazing city of Chicago. And with that, this video now comes to an end. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe so that you do not miss my future content. I do have some content from my Chicago trip coming out soon, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.